Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Hikmat Kumar Karki appointed Chief Minister of Koshi Province for the third time. Karki to expand cabinet today itself. Kedar Karki knocks Supreme Court doors. Central Investigation Bureau issues arrest warrants against 20 for their alleged involvement in the Bal Mandir land scam. US President Joe Biden warns Israel that the US will stop supplying weapons if it launches major ground operation in Gaza city of Rafah. And with one foot in the Europa League final, unbeaten Bayer Leverkusen of Germany hosts Roma of Italy in their semi-final tie later tonight. CPN-UML Provincial Party Leader Hikmat Kumar Karki has been appointed the Chief Minister of Koshi Province. Province Governor Parshuram Khapung appointed Karki to the post today based on the Constitution's Article 168, Sub-Article 5, after verifying the signatures of 52 Provincial Assembly members. Newly appointed Chief Minister Karki is to take the oath of office in a short while. Karki was elected to the Provincial Assembly from Jhapa Election Constituency 5A. He had staked his claim to the post this morning after Province Governor called for candidates last night. He has the support of 52 members from CPN-UML and CPN-Maoist Centre. Anyone willing to lead the province government needs at least 47 votes out of the 93 members. Hikmat Kumar Karki was appointed the Chief Minister for the first time on January 13th last year. He left the post on 29th of June after the change in political equation at the centre. He was then appointed to the post on 8th of September last year as the leader of the largest party, however resigned once again on 7th of October. As CPN-UML and Maoist Centre joined hands at the centre, once again, Karki has returned to the post for the third time. Meanwhile, former Chief Minister Kedar Karki has taken it to the Supreme Court against the appointment of Hikmat Kumar Karki as Chief Minister. Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police has begun investigations into the fraud related to leasing of land of Bal Mandir in Naxal, Kathmandu. The Bureau has issued arrest warrants against 20 individuals as well. The Bureau had begun its investigation after a complaint was filed regarding operation of a private school in the land leased for a period of 30 years, while an insignificant minimum amount was paid in rent. The lease agreement was to end after 8 years. However, another agreement was reached 9 years ago to extend the deal for 46 more years from now. According to the Bureau, the fraud case has been filed against the revision of the agreement for the land on which Brihaspati Vidya Sadan and Rai School are being operated. Minister for Finance Barsha Manpun has claimed the next fiscal budget will boost the private sector's confidence. Speaking at a program organized by the Society of Economic Journalists in Kathmandu, Minister Puls said the country's economy would not move forward without the inputs of the business sector.
फरक निकाय फरक सोच फरक ढंगले अलिकति म आफ्नो स्वायत्तता अधिकार प्रयोग गर्छु मैले यसो गर्छु भन्ने भन्दा पनि के गरेर प्राइभेट सेक्टरको मनोबल उठाउन सकिन्छ हामी त्यो गर्छौं के गरेर अहिलेको चाहिँ आर्थिक शिथिलतालाई हामी छिटै हल गरेर आर्थिक विकास तीव्रतातिर लान सक्छौं त्यो कुरा चाहिँ हामीले कोसिस गरिरहेका छौं.
At the program, industrialists suggested the government to inject a budget that would address the slumping economy. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what do you term the Prime Minister's statement on having to do many activities to ensure the full term of the government? Your options are A. Extremity of power affinity, B. Hint of splitting other parties, and C. Fear of coalition breakup. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Public Procurement Monitoring Office has prepared to blacklist an additional 23 construction service providers. These companies had, according to the office, failed to meet deadlines, compromised on quality and are alleged of financial irregularities. The list includes Parsa Parwanipur's Isa Construction and Chitwan's Prasansa Construction. The other companies operate between Dalilthura to Parsa. Revenue collection has been affected in Humla's Lhasa Customs due to absence of staff. The Yari Customs office in Lhasa, which borders with Tibet, does not have staff since 6 months. The office has remained locked. Border police say businessmen who bring in goods from Taklakot are unable to pay their taxes. One non-gazetted and one gazetted officer are allocated for the Lhasa office, along with 2 office support staff. Office Chief Ramraj Jaisi and support staff had moved to the headquarters some 6 months ago during Dashain festival and have not returned, according to locals. Yari Customs Chief Jaisi has said preparations are underway to send office support staff by 12th of May. It is time now for international update. U.S. President Joe Biden vowed publicly for the first time to withhold weapons from Israel if its forces make a major invasion of Rafah in southern Gaza, while negotiations in Cairo on a ceasefire plan for the enclave were set to continue. Biden, whose administration has repeatedly asked Israel for its plan to protect civilians in Rafah, told CNN in an interview that he made it clear that if they went into Rafah, he was not supplying the weapons. Biden acknowledged that U.S. bombs provided to Israel have killed Gaza civilians in the 7-month-old offensive aimed at annihilating Hamas. The comments, Biden's starkest yet, increased the pressure on Israel to refrain from a full-scale assault on Rafah, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have sought refuge after fleeing combat farther north in Gaza. There was no immediate comment from Israel on Biden's remarks, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said the Rafah operation would go ahead. Israel says it must hit Rafah to defeat thousands of Hamas fighters it says are there. Israel kept up tank and aerial strikes on southern Gaza after moving in via the Rafah border crossing with Egypt on Tuesday, cutting off a vital aid route. Biden has been under pressure from his fellow Democrats and growing campus protests to deter Israel from invading Rafah. His support of Israel has become a political liability as the president runs for re-election. The U.S. is by far the biggest supplier of weapons to Israel, and it accelerated deliveries after the Hamas attacks on October 7 that triggered Israel's offensive in Gaza. Biden said U.S. weapons for Israel's defense, such as for its Iron Dome anti-missile system, would continue. On Wednesday, U.S. officials confirmed that Washington paused delivery of an arms shipment of 1,800 2,000-pound bombs and 1,700 500-pound bombs to Israel due to the risk of civilians in Gaza. Now, the Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip has risen to 34,844. During the past 24 hours, the Israeli army killed 55 Palestinians and wounded 200 others, bringing the total death toll to 34,844 and injuries to 78,404 since the latest round of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict broke out last October. On Wednesday, Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah was hit by heavy Israeli airstrikes and shelling, while Palestinian militants said they hit Israeli troops in the eastern part of the city. The Israeli military stated that it conducted targeted raids on the Rafah crossing on one side of the Gaza Strip on Wednesday. Israeli military has reportedly killed about 30 Palestinian armed personnel and destroyed numerous facilities of Hamas on the day. According to Palestinian media reports, apart from the eastern region of Rafah, several other areas in the city have also been subjected to intense airstrikes and shelling by the Israeli military. Berlin's City Hall was damaged in an attempted arson attack overnight, with graffiti in support of Gaza left on the building's facade. According to a press release by Berlin police, a witness saw 2 people fleeing from the scene after noticing fire coming from a room on the ground floor of the town hall. Authorities were able to extinguish the fire with no injuries being reported. Words were spray painted across a wall around the building, reading, "If Gaza burns, Berlin burns, and free Gaza, end the murder." Germany has seen pro-Palestinian protests in recent months as the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza continues. On Tuesday, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters were cleared from the grounds of one of Berlin's universities after setting up a spontaneous protest camp, while similar rallies and clashes with police have been seen on campuses across Europe and the U.S. Israeli demonstrators blocked a road near the desert town of Mitzpe Ramon as they protested the delivery of 8 trucks into the Gaza Strip. Protesters formed a sit-in protest as they scattered rocks across the road to prevent vehicles from passing, creating standstill traffic. The protests came as Israeli army forces massed on the outskirts of Rafah after U.S. President Joe Biden vowed to withhold weapons from Israel if its forces launched a major invasion of the southern Gaza city. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and election rival Congress party leader Rahul Gandhi traded barbs about campaign funding, with both sides accusing the other of taking money from top industrialists Mukesh Ambani and Gautam Adani. Ambani, Asia's richest man, is chairman of the oil-to-media conglomerate Reliance Industries, while Adani, Asia's second richest, is the chairman of power-to-ports conglomerate Adani Group. Both industrialists are from Modi's home state Gujarat, where their businesses have large operations and have branched out to other Indian states, including those ruled by opposition parties and also overseas. Research group World Inequality Lab said in a recent report that India's richest 1% citizens owned 40.1% of the country's wealth as of 2023, the highest since 1961. India's 7-phase election began on April 19 and ends on June 1st. Modi is seeking a rare third straight term. A lower turnout so far in the 6-week vote has rattled Modi's campaign managers and called into question whether his Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies can achieve the landslide predicted by opinion polls a month ago. They say the lack of momentum seems to have prompted Modi to change the thrust of his campaign speeches, focusing on economic growth before the first phase of voting to now attacking rivals as pro-Muslims and in other ways in a bid to fire up the party's hardline base. Gandhi responded hours later by asking Modi whether he was slightly scared and said he should send financial crime investigators to do a full inquiry immediately. Gandhi has for years in fact attacked Modi, saying the works for the interests of industrialists such as Ambani and Adani and that inequality between the rich and the poor has worsened during his 10-year term, charges the government has denied. Modi has previously called allegations of promoting Adani and Ambani monopolies unfounded and said such accusations do damage to the Congress party. Blue light shone on Portugal's parliament and Lisbon's statue of Christ the King as cities across Europe were set to illuminate major landmarks with EU colours to mark Europe Day. Held on May 9th every year, Europe Day celebrates peace and unity in Europe, and this year also comes a month before EU elections to be held between June 6th and the 9th. The European Union said on its website that Europe Day marks the anniversary of the historic Schuman Declaration, a proposal considered to be beginning of the bloc. French Foreign Minister Robert Schuman presented the Schuman Declaration on 9th of May 1950 and proposed the creation of a European coal and steel community whose members would pool coal and steel production. A Ukrainian air attack on Russia's Belgorod region injured 8 people and damaged scores of residential buildings and cars. Among the wounded is an 11-year-old girl who was taken to a hospital, Vyacheslav Gladkov, the governor said on Telegram messaging app. About 34 flats in 19 apartment buildings were damaged, as well as 36 cars in the city of Belgorod, the region's administrative center, Gladkov added. Russia's air defense systems destroyed 15 rockets launched from RM-70 Vampir system and 1 drone over the region, Russia's defense ministry has said. 3 drones were also downed over Russia's Kursk region and 2 over Bryansk region, the ministry said in a statement on Telegram. All regions are bordering to Ukraine. A Ukrainian drone attack sparked a fire and damaged several storage tanks at a fuel depot in Russia's Krasnodar region. About 6 drones were destroyed and debris fell on the refinery near the village of Yurovka, the administration said on Telegram. Drone attacks on energy facilities inside Russia's territory have become more frequent in the past few months. Kyiv officials say that they conduct the attacks to undermine Russia's war effort and respond to Moscow's strike on Ukrainian energy infrastructures. The old depot was last attacked on 2nd of May, according to Russian state media. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.